Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Tactical Talk with Mad Dog Armory. I am one of your hosts, Jillian, and this is
Shad. Hi.
Shad.
Yeah. We're back.
We're back. We've missed you guys. We were gone for a couple of weeks, but we hope you went back and watched some of our previous shows. We are here every Friday, but not
Except
quite
when we're not.
every Friday. And we'll talk to you a little bit about what we've been doing the last couple of weeks. But but every Friday, you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And it looks like we have a new production company.
Yep.
So we are
Area
now
52.
Area 52. So very cool. Yes. So we appreciate them hosting us and allowing us to bring you this awesome show, Tactical Talk. Shad and I are the owners of Mad Dog Armory. We have two locations. We're a gun shop, retail store, and training center.
In the Tampa Bay area.
In the Tampa Bay area, yes.
Oh, hey, look. You're so pretty.
So on your screen, you'll see the two locations. Definitely visit our website for more information, mdarmory.com. So Largo's our original location. Largo is in Pinellas County, and we opened that shop in 2016. And the reason we opened that shop is there was a need in the area for friendly, knowledgeable, clean,
Clean gun
clean,
shop.
I know. I like it clean, you know. Just friendly, inviting, and having a knowledgeable staff that is there for you to help you choose the right option. Sometimes it's a little intimidating walking into a gun shop, especially for beginners. So we wanted to create an atmosphere, and we did that with Mad Dog Armory, and it's become a great success. And we opened our second location in Tampa.
Yep. A little over a year ago. May.
Yes. So a little, about a year and a half. Yeah, almost a year and a half now. Kind of.
Yeah.
May, June, July. No. Okay. 8 months. A year and 8 months. No.
Math's not good. Not a strong point.
We just talked about that last night. Anyway, a little over a year ago. Let's just go back to that. Our Tampa location is in South Tampa on Kennedy Boulevard. So that one is a little bigger than our original. It's a freestanding building, and we do a lot of training there. We're super excited to be in the South Tampa area.
Yep.
It's a blue area,
But
Democratic city, and
we got welcomed with open arms.
We
so
did.
Thank you very much to the community. It's been doing really well.
Yeah,
So,
we're really excited about our staff and that location as well. So you're responsible, you know, we talk about this every week. You're responsible for your safety. You know, it's a crazy world out there. No matter where you live, good area, bad area, whatever, big house, little house, it doesn't matter. Crime does not discriminate, and you're responsible to defend yourself. So you can't rely on other people. You have to be trained. So we help you with that, and so we're very passionate about education. We offer a whole line of classes. A plethora of classes available. So if you are in the local area, we would love to train you from beginner to advanced, concealed carry. We're excited to announce that we're doing a new AR class coming soon, so keep an eye on that for the website and that announcement. So that's a USCCA sponsored program, training, so we're really excited for that. So a lot of people have been asking about AR training, and we're super excited. I believe
we've
Lauren
been doing one-on-one trainings, but now we're actually going to have a dedicated class specifically for ARs.
Correct.
So, it'd be very nice.
Yeah, super excited. We just want to push train, and we'll talk about that a little bit more within the show. We're also franchising, and if you're not familiar with franchises, most like Subways and McDonald's and things like that, they're all franchises. So basically, if you're interested in owning your own gun shop, what we can do is help you out with that. And basically, we give you all the tools that you need, and train you for a couple of weeks and show you the programs, and you know we've done all the hard work for you, so it's just a turnkey solution for you to be able to own your own gun shop. And we say it all the time, our Second Amendment is under attack, and we really need people to step up. And if you're looking for a business, why not play with guns all day?
Absolutely.
So we were just interviewing somebody for our Tampa location, and he said, what a better job than this,
Yeah.
and even our employees are like,
Absolutely. Get to play with guns all day long.
yeah,
It's a
the
lot of
new
fun.
stuff.
It's Christmas every day.
You get to talk to people and teach them and watch that aha moment when they're
Right.
like, so it's a very cool industry to be in. It's lucrative and it's essential.
Yep.
So
Yes,
even
it
during COVID, we were working and
Well, that was because of Trump. Who knows what would happen if
that's true.
shit for brains was in.
Yeah,
at that
things
point in
might
time.
be different,
So, yeah.
but right now it's essential.
Yeah.
So we'd love to hear from you if you have any questions about that. And we want Mad Dogs all over the country so we can help as many people as possible.
That's right.
So today's show is exciting. So it is show 18, I want to say. We haven't been here for a couple of weeks, like I said. But we'll talk about that in a second. So today's show, though, we're going to talk about headlines, a couple of headlines, because since we haven't been here, there has been a few things that have passed and laws and things like that. A few things that have happened. So we're going to talk about headlines, online shopping and transfers. So I want to go over that. Is it legal to buy online? How's the process work?
Right.
Pros and cons to buying online. So we're going to cover that.
Sure.
And then we also brought a couple of firearms to talk about as far as budget guns. So lower priced. And kind of talk about different options for people that have different budgets.
Right.
And this is going to be on the lower end of the budget because really guns, anybody can afford a gun. There are $150 guns. So, and we offer financing. So it's like
Absolutely.
really
Lots
there's
of options.
zero reason that somebody can't buy a gun,
Financing,
right?
layaway, there's all sorts of options in
Sure.
order to get something. If you really want to get something, we can get you into something. for sure.
Absolutely. So we're going to touch on that a little bit. We're also going to talk to Shad specifically about his new Shit with Shad segment. So we're very excited about that.
Yeah.
New Shit
Yeah.
with Shad.
We have
He's-
something actually live here as opposed to.
Yes.
But yeah, it's pretty cool.
He's going to open the box. Except
Open the box.
I opened the box this morning because I
happens.
didn't know what it was and I opened it. But
Yes.
he's going to actually
So we're going to do an actual
reopen.
unboxing. We're going to do an unboxing.
An unboxing, okay, of a new product. So
Yes.
stay tuned for that. So the last show we did, 17, was range etiquette, what to bring to the range, some things that you'll hear at the range that you need to be familiar with, what to pack in your range bag, important items that you're going to need. And that was a really important show. So if you go back, that's a really good one to watch.
Sure.
So we
Hey, look, there we are.
we try to cover.
All right, so it looks like I'm trying
Subscribe.
to stab somebody on the one on the bottom left. Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, if you actually,
I got some anger issues or something. I don't
No,
know.
it's actually Rob. He's
Thanks, Rob.
he's hilarious. So if you go to our YouTube videos, the screenshot, the capture,
Yeah.
on the.
It was
main-
a good one though. I mean, that
Some of them
actually
are
is
good.
kind of fun. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So definitely get a laugh out of that, and that's what we're here for. Entertain, educate. A little bit of both.
We're here to have a good time. Actually.
So yeah, those are really funny. So definitely go back. We really need the community to share, like, subscribe, share this stuff with people. A lot of people don't know a lot about the industry, and if you're an enthusiast, share it with everybody that you know, especially on social media. Let's spread the word so we can get the word out on all this important stuff. Okay.
Yep.
So we did the drawing for the free rifle. So we had last week. No, the last show, sorry.
Right. That was for the Black Rain Ordinance Bro.
Correct, AR-15, 556-223.
Yep.
So that was cool. So in the Tampa location, we did a raffle. So you paid probably $10 or something to get
$10 per ticket.
Right. So for $10, you enter the raffle, and then you have the chance to win a free.
Well, at that point, it was free. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, once you have your chance in $10 or however many you want. So that was really cool. Our winner was Javon Days. I had trouble with, there he is. Yay, Javon. And I like his shirt too. Buccaneers, go Bucks.
That's right.
So that's his AR-15 that he won, and we're doing it again. So it looks like we just
We completed one
completed it.
while we were out. So, and
we're not-
unfortunately, we left the tickets at the shop.
Well, I didn't know it was ready.
I know.
So,
So we'll do it next week.
Right.
So we'll do the drawing next week.
Yes, so
for the one
tune
that
in.
ended. So we
Yep.
haven't forgot about you. Sorry about that.
yeah, I just
My
heard
bad.
about it. Yeah,
That's my bad. Yeah.
shocker. I just heard about that we're ready to draw. So
Yep.
we're going to do that next week. So next Friday at 6 p.m., don't miss Tactical Talk because we're going to announce the winner. So if you enter the raffle,
And
it could
that
be
is
you.
for a Saint Edge.
I don't know. What is it?
Victor, I think.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice
So
gun.
that is a
Nice
really
gun.
good gun. Yeah, for sure. So that's
Yep.
so exciting. So next week for sure. Don't miss it. But again, congratulations to Devon. And next week we're going to do the drawing. Okay. So since the last show, so a little information on why we were out. So Shad and I got COVID again.
We got the bid.
We got the vid again.
Yeah.
Gosh. So
It wasn't bad,
we
though.
were prepared for it though this
Yeah.
time because it's the second time we've had it. So
And it really wasn't.
wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
No.
It really, for me, it wasn't bad the first time.
Right.
You had it definitely worse than I did the first time.
Absolutely.
But this time, it's like you were still a little bit.
Well, I
think
took
you-
that medicine.
Yeah.
So I took the hydrochloric,
Chloroquine.
hydroxychloroquine,
Something like that.
which made me feel better immediately.
Yeah.
But I still, we still had to stay inside. We were doing
Mm-hmm.
our due diligence to not spread it, so we stayed in and we sequestered ourselves, or
Yeah.
sequestered.
Sure.
Yeah. So we stayed away from everybody, our friends and family, and so for about 2 weeks, 10
Yeah,
days,
10
we
days,
kind of
yeah.
stayed in, so we couldn't film. And then
Then
our
there was-
daughter came into town.
Yes.
And so our daughter that's in the Navy,
Mm-hmm.
she came to visit. So we've been spending some time with her and trying to.
She's
you know,
leaving today.
She's leaving today. Bye, Bree.
Bye, Bree, Bree.
So she's back to serving our country. So thank you for your service.
Love you, sweetie.
Yes. And so we kind of missed that week.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing was the Lightning didn't win, huh? We went to the last game.
And they put up a fight.
They did,
They
but
put
that
up a
other
fight.
team was so fast. If you
Well,
don't,
I tell you what,
I
we
feel
were
like they were so
injured.
tough.
So after
Fast.
the series was over, there were some injury reports that came out, and man, we had guys that were hurting for certain, and the
Yeah.
fact they were still playing was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, it was they gave everything they had.
yeah.
It's a shame they
They
didn't
went
get it.
almost all the way.
They did. Well, they went back
Third
to
base.
back. So, yeah, they went halfway home.
Halfway home.
But ultimately, they went 3 years in a row to the Stanley Cup Finals, and they won
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2 of them. So they're reloading right now and hope to go back again next year.
Right.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yep. So
Good job,
that's
guys.
yeah. So that's kind of why we were out. Also, the transition from the 2 production companies.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't have a week there. So, but we're really happy to be back, and
Yeah.
thanks for joining us. So let's talk guns. We ready? Was there anything else I
Sure.
missed? Like why we
Uh,
weren't here? Yeah,
yeah.
no, we're doing
Probably
good.
not, yeah, I
Okay,
think we're
cool. So headlines. All right. So last month, the United States passed some gun legislation. Let's go, Brandon. So we wanted to talk about that a little bit and break it down so everybody understands kind of what's going on and what's passed and
Right.
what it means.
Right.
Because we want you to understand that. Now, some of these already are in place in our local area, which is Florida, in the
Right.
Tampa Bay area.
Yeah.
But if you're watching from out of the area, this might be something new for you because
Your
you don't have
mileage
it.
may vary, so ultimately it might be a little different where you're at. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first one is the boyfriend loophole. So they
Hey, what the hell is that?
they
I
closed.
know. I was like, what is that?
They closed the boyfriend loophole.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
I know, I gotta put my glasses on for this
Yeah.
one. So the term boyfriend loophole refers to a gap in gun legislation that allows access to guns by physically abusive ex-boyfriends and stalkers with previous convictions or restraining orders. Now,
How'd they close it?
how
And what the fuck does that mean?
it basically is rhetoric, I think, because anybody that is a stalker or has had physical abuse or anything like that,
Yeah.
and it's gone to the courts like it should, you go get a
Right.
restraining
They can't pass
order.
a background check.
They don't pass a background check.
Right.
It's already through the courts.
So the question, so maybe it's they make the girlfriend go in and get it, but again, how do they close the loophole? I mean, it's a straw
they
purchase
don't.
anyway if they do that. So I mean, I'm just saying. So
Yeah,
I don't get it.
So the legislation is basically to make people feel good. I don't know that it'll change anything, but honestly, it really isn't going to change much for our viewers, honestly, because law-abiding gun owners don't have these issues.
Right.
And
They just put more handcuffs
criminals,
on us.
right, and criminals are the ones that don't go through background checks because
Right.
they get their guns illegally. So, so ultimately, it's not really going to affect anybody. So don't beat your girlfriend, and you won't have a problem. So
Or
there you go.
boyfriend. I mean, there's
or
I'm
boyfriend.
just saying.
For real.
Nowadays, whew,
Absolutely, it
Yeah.
definitely goes the other way. Absolutely.
goes both ways.
So, boyfriend loophole, that is something that passed. The next thing is the red flag law. So a lot of
Right.
people hear red flag and they're like, what the heck is that? So the technical term for red flag is gun control that permits police to petition a court the state court to order the temporary removal of firearms from a person who they believe may present a danger to others or themselves.
Right.
So this is tricky. Florida already has red flag laws, and it's good and bad. We like to see both sides of it, and that's the thing about us, is that we always give it to you straight.
Sure.
And the good part is that if somebody is a harm to themselves or others, and it's been proven, basically, somebody's posting on Facebook that they're going to go shoot up a school or they're going to kill people or anything like that, that is when police should step in and remove those guns from that person, because if you're saying things like that, then you're potentially going to do those things, and you shouldn't have a gun, because then we have more school shootings and innocent people get killed, and that's never good, right?
So, and we had somebody from Texas. There was a TV station that came into our Largo location about 3 weeks ago. And they were in the area, and they wanted to stop in and talk to us about this situation, right? Red flag laws specifically. Okay. And I had no idea that they had like 6 or 8 different red flag court cases that they actually sat in on. That
I wasn't there.
I know, no, but like that day, I was very surprised that there were that many. And they said that Pinellas County and Miami-Dade have the 2 largest red flag stuff in Florida.
Cases, you mean?
Cases, yeah. And they were checking in with us because Texas, now with everything happening, they were kind of wondering what's, after Uvalde, and they were trying to, put everything together. But I was very surprised that there were that many. And they pretty much said that most of them were all elderly.
Oh, wow.
So it's elderly people.
So that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
And the people, they actually kept the red flag injunction in place. And
you can extend it.
And the people didn't have any issue with it.
Right. Yeah,
So,
and that's good. So
yes,
that's one of the
exactly.
positives. And I know a lot of gun advocates, and we're gun advocates.
Absolutely.
Truly gun advocates, and we're for that, because if there's an elderly person that
might want to hurt themselves or others, it's a shame. And
they're targets too for criminals.
Absolutely.
So it kind of stinks. But if they're not able to, if the criminal's going to grab it from them and use it on them, then that's never good either.
Yeah.
So
and if their mental faculties aren't
Correct.
right, then and this is stuff that it seems like it was actually working. Now the problem is we always have to think worst case scenario, because God forbid we have to think worst case scenario.
Right.
And it's now somebody could just come in and take your guns from you, and now what the hell happens?
That's a scary thought.
Right. So
because
that's
opens
where you
the door.
Really, exactly.
It opens the door to the government or the states coming in and taking your guns, gun confiscation, which is clearly not what we want. So there is a very fine line. I know people are very passionate on both sides about it.
Absolutely.
But I'm just hoping that the courts do their due diligence and make sure that they're not just taking somebody's word for it, as far as, a disgruntled ex-wife or somebody that is, or ex-husband that is just, playing games and get your guns taken away, which is never good.
Nope.
So that's red flag laws. And then the other thing was funding for school safety and mental health services, which I'm all about.
Absolutely.
I feel like schools should have resource officers, if not 1, maybe 2, or however many you need in the size of your school. 100%. Schools are becoming a target, unfortunately, and it's horrible, and children should be protected, and I'm all about that, for sure.
Yep.
The only thing I have to say about those, the school shootings and things that have been happening, there's 2 things that I think would prevent it. And it's unfortunate that the government and local communities don't come to gun shops. We deal with these things on a daily basis. So we have people that either don't have guns, don't shoot guns, aren't familiar making these rules and regulations, and they actually aren't in the industry. They don't see things that happen on a daily basis that could actually make changes that are effective, because the things that they talk about are not effective. So the 2 things that I think would help is, I've said it before on the show, if you see something, say something. You have to say something.
Absolutely.
And whether it's your family member, your best friend, your uncle, your brother, I don't care who it is, your husband, it doesn't matter. If you see something, you have to say something, because every single one of these mass shootings, school shootings, whatever they call them, there were different things that should have piqued people's interests, and they should have.
Well, the Uvalde one specifically.
And told people.
Right, the Uvalde one specifically, the brother asked his sister to get him a gun. Right. Well before he was of age in order to do it. So that in itself, and I'm sure that he said something to her about it.
Right.
So, she should have taken that more seriously.
Yeah, and that leads me into the second thing, which is adults need to love on kids and minors and listen to them, right?
Yeah.
Kids are getting bullied. Kids are mean, unfortunately. Some
Even
kids are
growing up,
really,
yeah,
really
I mean,
mean.
growing up, we were in that
Middle
yeah,
schoolers, they're the
it's
worst.
brutal.
Yeah, and
Looking back on it now, it's like at some point with somebody, I was a little bit of a bully. I used to make fun of somebody, but I also had people making fun of me, you know, and it's kind of one of those things.
Right.
You didn't really think much about it, but the kids are getting a lot more sensitive.
yeah.
And in doing so now, with all these things that they're allowed to do.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, the biggest
it makes it a
thing
little more
is,
difficult. And they can't, mentally, they just can't, they're not there to be able to
Right.
really handle it.
and the isolation that's happening with the kids too, which is
Sure.
why it's so important for parents and adults and, even just a mentor to get involved in these kids' lives, is because they're isolating themselves. And most of these people that have done these mass shootings, they were in isolation. They're in their rooms a lot. They don't have any friends. They're being bullied. They're gaming all day long. And again, I'm not blaming gaming, because we have 4 kids that are gamers, and none of them have ever done anything like that,
Five kids.
We have 5 kids? Oh, you're my 5th, yeah. Oh,
There we go.
100% 5 kids. So gaming, and then they're watching violence, movies these days, and and it's not one thing; it's all of them combined. But when you have a red flag like this kid, 18, 17, teenager that is,
Talking about
by
wanting to-
himself,
yeah.
talking about violence, hurting animals, torturing animals.
crazy.
These are all red flags that you have to report. And I know it's tough because it's your loved one.
Right.
But I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We had a family member that we did it to, because that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
And it's not easy.
No.
And they're going to be pissed at you. But you know what? It's better than small children being
Than
shot.
alternatives, right? It's better than the alternative.
Or
for
anybody
sure.
being
Yeah,
shot, or
whoever it
anybody
might
being
be.
killed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So those are my 2 cents on that. And I think that if we did something like that, and I'm hoping that these laws that we pass for mental health and for school safety will include that stuff and get people involved, teachers.
I'm interested to see what the mental health stuff is going to be coming out of this. Because
Right.
they say it, but then what is it, and
I'm
what's
sure it's-
actually going to happen? So
I'm sure it's
I'm
nothing
curious.
that's regulated or that
Right.
anybody's going to keep track of.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's really the most important thing that we could do, is say
Yeah.
something and get involved in the kids' lives. Teachers are with kids a lot of the time more than parents are.
Yeah.
Honestly, parents are working, then if they have a social
Yeah,
life,
nowadays, absolutely.
right?
Yeah,
And
sure.
kids are just in front of the screen, and so
Yeah,
again, if you see something, say something. It's so important, right?
absolutely. Yeah, well done.
All right, cool.
You just nailed it.
Thank you.
Babe, you just nailed it.
Okay. All right, cool. So let's talk about this. So a stat, an interesting stat, and you can make a stat on anything. We talk about this with sports, stats. You can do any
you can
stat.
figure
He drives
something
me
out.
crazy with stats because he knows all the stats.
Stats are still stats.
Stats
but
are still
nonetheless.
stats, yeah, but they're ever changing.
Yes.
Somebody could beat a stat.
Yep.
But 50% of gun owners buy a gun and never shoot it. What?
And honestly, that doesn't surprise me.
50%?
I know, but I have so many people come and it's like, oh yeah, I got that gun 2 years ago. I still haven't shot it yet.
What?
Really?
I
Yeah.
mean, what?
I know.
Horrible people. Come on. So if you buy a gun, you have to train with it, okay?
Yes.
You have to. It's so, so, so important. We did a show many shows ago about accidental discharges and accidents that happen with guns, and we have
Right.
way too many. And the reason why that's happening is because you haven't gotten the training. You have to train with
Right.
your gun.
Shooting is a diminishing trait. So you have to do it or it dissipates or you're not as comfortable with it. It does come back, but it doesn't come back immediately.
I mean, I
so
feel
it's something
like
you have
yeah,
to work at.
I feel like it's like riding a bike. I mean,
It is,
once you
absolutely,
once you
100%.
train, if you buy a gun and put it in a drawer, that you're done. Like you're
Yeah.
not. I don't know. But if you train and you get classes and then you continue on, beginner, intermediate, have some one-on-ones. Once you learn how to shoot a gun, first of all, you're going to love it. And you're going to want to practice. You're going to
Yep.
want to go out to the range. It's super fun. Grab a
Right.
friend, go, or your significant other. And I think even if you didn't do it every week or every month, you'd still be able to kind of,
Yeah,
But you
Probably
got to learn.
Yeah, you got to do it at least once a month. I mean,
Yeah.
realistically, I
Yeah.
mean, at the very beginning, you really do need to do it like once a month just to kind of stay on top of stuff. Now,
Yeah.
again, as you said, after shooting,
Mm-hmm.
for a while, that is kind of one of those traits that it doesn't take long to come back. But
Right.
if you just buy it and you go out and shoot it once, you're like, okay, I'm good, I'm a professional.
Yeah.
I know how this works.
Yeah.
It's not enough. It really isn't.
Yeah, and doing research for this stat, so gun deaths have spiked, during the pandemic, and like 20,000 people have died from homicides, unintentional deaths, which is unintentional deaths. Do you want to die unintentionally? Like, how
Right.
dumb is
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
And all you have to do is just get educated and take some training, and you won't have an unintentional death.
Absolutely.
And other types of gun violence. So that's a lot of people.
Right.
And 50% of gun owners that buy guns and don't shoot them is just too high.
Yeah.
Like, we have to
Absolutely.
push training. Like, you have to be doing that. Plus,
Yeah.
it's so fun.
I know.
Once you learn, I know it's scary, believe me. I know we were all beginners. And for me personally, that's why I started the shop. That's why I love teaching. Because once you learn, personally, once I learned about how it functioned, and the internal workings and what ammo was like and all this other stuff, I mean, I just fell in love. And that's why Mad Dog
Right.
started. So it's just so amazing. So please get your training. It's really, really important.
Yep.
And we can help you with that. Like I said, we have tons of training available.
Yep.
All right. So online purchasing of guns. Let's get into that.
So
Go ahead.
one stat you brought up, so we were talking about stuff on the way here.
Yeah.
And there was something about like 600 or something mass shootings or whatever
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
You
You
have
want
that in
that
there?
stat?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
What is it?
I don't know if I put that in here, actually.
Okay, it
50%.
seemed like it was like 647
Yeah,
mass
mass,
shootings
yeah.
compared to 607, something like that. It was a little bit more, but again,
Yeah.
we get into this whole what's a mass shooting thing. But still, at
We've talked
600,
about it.
at 670 whatever, that's multiple people getting shot, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
that's also like people doing drive-bys in Chicago,
no, I get it.
like, and killing multiple
Right.
people. That's a mass shooting,
Right.
even though it's illegally, obtained,
Right.
and they're
But
selling
we heard about
drugs or
Uvalde, But
violence.
we didn't hear about 600 and something of them last year, and that's the part that kind of gets me,
Yeah.
gets a little under my skin.
Oh, thank
you
you
hear
for
about
saying
some?
that, because
Yes.
it just reminded me, we're publicizing the shooter, okay?
Yeah.
And this is something that I just read recently, and thank you for bringing that up, because it just triggered my memory. So it is so important for the media to stop publicizing the shooter, because what's happening is these kids are isolated, right? And they have
like,
like
"Oh, look,
no
I can get
friends,
all
they're
this
bullied,
recognition."
whatever's going
Yeah.
on, and they're like, oh, exactly. So if we just don't say the person's name, don't put up a picture of them, don't even talk about them. Let's talk about the kids,
Right.
or the victims, and different things like that.
I have
And even
no idea
then,
what his name is, nor do I give a shit, because
don't
he's just
publicize
a piece of
it.
shit.
Yeah, because
So,
kids
yeah.
see that, and it makes them like, oh, well, everybody's going to know my name now,
Right. Yep.
and that's why they do it.
Yep.
One of the reasons why they do it. So thank you for bringing that up.
But one of the reasons why I was bringing that stuff
Yeah.
up is I was in the car the other day, and it was on the radio. It had to be true. But it sounded like it was a stat for something from Florida, like a Florida-based, whether, I'm not sure, Department of Motor Vehicles or whatever. And it stated that in Florida, 2 people per day die from automobile accidents.
Oh,
And I was like, all right, so
yeah.
365 days, so that's 700 and whatever people die a year.
yeah.
Yet there's nobody doing all this legislation about cars. And
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
It's not as controversial.
I know.
So it is what it is. We
Yeah.
know that they could compare. I mean, gun violence is not the number one killer of people. I mean, I think it's like heart disease or something.
Right.
So it's like, again, it's just agendas, it's
Right.
politics, it's bullshit, actually.
But still, I thought that was kind of, I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
2 people a day
Yeah.
in Florida. Just in Florida. Wow.
There's a
So,
stat.
Yeah, there's a stat.
Okay, online purchasing
Yes.
of guns. So let's talk about the pros and cons, because this is important. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, because it's something that we deal with at our shops
Sure.
on a daily basis, and especially if you're going to open your own Mad Dog, or you're going to open your own
Yeah.
shop, you need to know about this.
And it could be a touchy subject. You
Yeah.
know,
For sure.
I get it.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
we're here to be touchy.
So is it legal to buy guns online?
Yes.
Yes, it is. You can absolutely buy a gun online. Now, the thing about it is that it doesn't get shipped to your house. So it's not like buying on Amazon, like you're buying
Right. Depending on how you're buying
bed
it, where you're
sheets.
buying it from,
Correct.
right? Ultimately, if some dude is, you're talking to somebody on Facebook or something like that, like, hey, can I buy your gun? Yeah, okay, I'll ship it to your house. Okay, that's a problem.
Well, yeah, that's not legal. That's not
Right,
legal.
that's a problem.
Well, I guess it depends on where you are, if it's legal or not.
There you
So
go.
private sales, that's a whole nother thing. But,
But if
so
you're
buying
from the
online,
shops,
yes, right? So the process is that you buy it online. Here, like, let's just talk about our own experiences in Florida, right? So if you purchase a firearm online, what happens is we are notified that whoever you bought it from is going to let us know, basically, or we can contact them. We exchange information as the FFL. So as the federal firearm licensee, we, the store, contact the store you bought it from, that's transferring it to us, and we exchange our licenses.
Right.
Because we have to keep track of every single gun that comes through our doors and leaves our doors, acquisition, disposition, right? And so does the shop that they buy it from.
Right.
So both shops have to share information, and actually, if you are interested in doing a transfer to our shop, our FFLs are listed on our website.
Yep.
So you don't have to call us or do any, stuff. You just go onto our website and you can actually
it.
download
Yep.
it yourself.
That's correct.
So we exchange information, or you exchange our information with the other gun shop.
Right.
Then they ship it to us, or we ship it to them for you if you buy it from us, and we receive it, and then we call you.
Yep, we'll call you and say, hey, come
Pretty
down
easy.
and pick up your item. Yep.
So pretty easy to do. The pros to buying a gun online instead of going to a shop, of course, would be maybe you might get a better deal, right? Maybe, if you go to one of the big, online stores, maybe you're going to find it a little less. Maybe you're not. So a lot of people sometimes buy it online and they come to pick up their transfer, and we have it on the shelf for less than what they paid.
Right, because ultimately they're going to buy it, they're going to pay for a transfer fee, and the transfer fee is something that we're going to charge for taking it in and for doing what we need to do.
$45.
$45 in
Right.
order to, do our portion of stuff and to
Correct.
pay for our store and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
And so you add those together, and then some of the things you can save might be tax. So depending on the store you're getting it for, you may not have to pay sales tax.
Right.
A lot of the bigger locations are having to start
Right.
to.
Just like any online shopping. In the beginning, it was kind of like you get away with not paying tax on a lot of things
Right.
online, but now it's starting to catch up with the gun shops, and
enough.
now you have to be charged sales tax.
Right.
And then the other thing is, we're busy. A lot of people shop online, but you can always shop online at a local gun shop as well, and pick it up and just choose in-store pickup. So this
Yeah.
way you're not,
No transfer fee.
no
none of that
transfer
stuff.
fee. You
Yeah.
don't have to pay that $45 if you buy directly from your local gun shop online. So I get you're busy. I shop a lot online. I know we are on our phones all the time. So I get the conveniences there. But instead of going to like a, .com, whatever, support your local gun shop and just buy it on their website, right?
It's tough because if you keep buying everything online, you won't have a shop to transfer it to. It's basically kind of what it
Eventually,
comes down to. Because
yeah.
if all the shop is doing is transfers, they can't survive on that
Right.
alone.
True.
So it's tough.
Yep. And then the other thing, about price is that when you go into our shops, especially, we have sales going on.
Sure.
So you might think you're getting a better deal online, but we have specials. I know the manufacturers, we have different manufacturers that have different specials. Sometimes, Springfield does a really good job of like 4 free mags and a
Right
case.
now, 3 free mags and a
3
bag.
free mags and a
with any
bag.
striker-fired gun.
Right. So if you go into the shop, you'll find a better deal. And it's just like anywhere, really. If you go into the store, there's a sale rack. That's exactly how the gun shops work, too. So there's a lot of specials. So you might be thinking you're getting a better deal, but you're actually not.
And if you see something, bring it up. Say something.
Sure.
If it's something that we can do, we will.
Right.
As
far as
obviously,
price.
absolutely. We try to be fair.
Right.
Ultimately, we are a for-profit business.
Sure.
So we do have people to pay. 12 employees now, all that kind of good stuff. So we do what we can.
Right. And that's, some of the things that we wanted to touch on,
Sure.
So the cons of buying online as far as coming from the gun shop owners, right? You're hurting the gun shops,
Yeah.
FYI.
Yeah.
Because like Shad said, we can't survive on transfers alone. We employ people, and their skills and knowledge is so helpful for you.
Absolutely.
A lot of times people will buy something online and it's not the right gun for them. And now...
Wow, during the pandemic, how many people, they were buying one gun and different ammo thinking that it went together and it didn't.
Correct,
Holy
right.
crap-oly.
Yeah, not good.
No.
So you really need the experience of somebody to help you. And when you're online, you don't have that experience. And once it is transferred to you and we receive it, it's a process to get to not return it. So now you're stuck with the gun. You're going to lose money because it's now a used gun because you've taken possession of it. So so you're doing yourself a disservice by buying online if you're not educated about what you want. If you're a first-time buyer or if you're new to it, you're going to want to go into the gun shop and actually touch and feel different things. Every gun is different for every person. You know, we talk about girl guns and boy guns, and it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with hand size and experience and budget and all those things that help you choose which gun is right for you. So something online, just because it's, you know, pink or it looks tactical or this or whatever the reason is for you buying, might not be the right gun for you. Whereas our employees are trained to ask certain questions like, what's your intended use? You wouldn't get a little Smith & Wesson bodyguard if you want it for home defense. Right?
Absolutely.
So we would not allow you, well, we would allow you, but we would definitely fight you on it for you buying a Springfield or Smith & Wesson bodyguard for home defense. You don't want to do that, but you wouldn't know that unless you came into the store because the online shop isn't going to tell you that.
We definitely try to inform you,
Sure.
right? Because ultimately you have to live with the decision, right? We don't have to live with it. So we want to make sure that you have the information needed to make a good, informed decision.
Absolutely.
Just that simple.
Yes, absolutely. And we can help you with training and different items that go with it. So another con of buying online is you need to touch and feel it. I said it. It might be something better for you. We talked about staff can suggest other items and accessories that go with your gun, right? So different features, extended magazines, right? So if your hand size, maybe your pinky and your ring finger are hanging off the bottom, right? You need an extended mag. You don't know if you haven't held it or touched it or felt it.
We actually had a review from a customer not too long ago that said that he was going in to buy a particular gun. I can't remember exactly what the gun was. He went in, started talking to the staff, and come to find out that that's not really the gun. He put it in his hand, and that wasn't the gun that he ended up leaving with.
Happens all the time.
And he was so happy with the gun he ended up purchasing.
Good.
So it's kind of one of those things that, you know, you may think that's it because somebody tells you, oh, you need to get this gun. This gun is great.
Yeah.
Well, it's great for them.
Right.
But it may not be great for you.
True.
Specifically on how you're going to use it or what you might be doing.
Yes.
So
true.
Yeah.
So true.
They're like shoes. Put on different pairs of shoes and see which ones fit the best. And, you know, how are you going to use it? All that kind of good stuff. Yeah.
It's exactly like shoes.
Yeah. And she's got a shit ton of shoes.
And I have a pair that I didn't try on that weren't cheap, and I don't wear them because they don't fit properly and they won't take them back. So you don't want that.
Yes.
Accessories, like I said, so like, you know, whether a laser or a red dot would be good for you, right?
Aiming aids, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Very nice.
like snap caps and different features, you know, different accessories that you might not even know that you need.
Or know they exist,
right.
for that matter.
Yeah. And again, the specials that we have sometimes include that stuff. So you might get that stuff for free. So very, you know, very important. What if you don't pass a background check? So you get the gun transferred to us or to your local gun shop and you don't pass your background check. Well, it's a whole process.
It is a process.
Gun
has to go back potentially. You know,
you have to ship it back to them maybe. You're probably going to lose a lot, you know, a portion of your money. It's a whole thing. So why would you do that, right? The transfer fee, I said, is $45 for us, but I know shops that charge more than that. So again, you might think that you're getting a good deal as far as price, but then you got to add that $40, $45 to your purchase price, and it's probably not, you know, thing.
For us, you're going to pay a background check anyway, so it's more like $40 difference. You're going to figure out what that's going to be, and if that's a big, you know.
Yeah, $40 is a lot.
Absolutely,
you know?
especially nowadays.
Yeah.
It's only, what, like 2 gallons of gas? I got robbed. You gotta love it. You gotta love when you get these guys laughing.
It's horrible. And the other thing is most gun shops can negotiate price. Now, granted, not everyone does. The bigger box stores usually don't negotiate. You know, they don't have to. They're MSRP, whatever. But when you buy a bundle or something like that, you know, we're loyal to our customers.
Absolutely.
We want to help you afford. There's lots of options. There's layaway, like we talked about earlier. We give you 30 days to pay it off. Even if you needed a little bit more, we work with people on that. 20% down. Sometimes, you know, what, a $500 gun, what's 20% down?
10.
You said I'm not good at math earlier, see? again,
$100
just a percentage down,
It's like,
and then you can pay it off. You
Right.
can pay it off weekly, whatever. So we're going to work with you on that. We also have financing, like Shad said. So we have a third-party finance company that you can apply to in the store or at your leisure, and you get pre-approved, and then you can come pick out what you'd like.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of options out there, and then bundles and things like that. So it's okay to do research and take advice from people, but you ultimately picking your gun and guns are a very personal choice, and you
Yes.
need to do it yourself.
Yes.
So even when your spouse, ladies, are saying, "Here, honey, I bought you this gun," that gun might not be the right one for you. And if
Yeah.
you don't know that it, if it is or it isn't, you should take it into a gun shop, and we'll talk to you about it. So
Yeah.
that's what we're there
We'll
for.
try to help you out however we can.
For
Absolutely.
sure. Yeah, so we are, we wanted to bring that up because we've been getting a bunch of transfers lately, and we know that there's some gun shops, online shops. Some of them don't even have like a physical location. So it's easy for them to just buy up like a whole bunch and sell it for like
they
less
hardly
than
have
our
any
cost.
kind of actual physical inventory. They
Right.
just have stuff drop shipped directly, and,
Yeah.
And
And
when you have a physical location, it costs money to have that physical location. It
Right.
costs money to have those employees sitting there
Sure.
dealing with all that stuff. So,
Yeah. Absolutely. So do your best to stay informed, and if you want to buy stuff online, give the gun shop an opportunity to price match it. We usually can do that and save you that $45 transfer fee
Yeah.
or $40 transfer fee.
Yeah,
So just give us the opportunity, and we would love to help you with that and give you all those extras
Yeah.
that you don't get online.
Yep.
All right, cool. So something I wanted to touch on is the demand for ammo. So we were talking about that in the car because ammo's been like scarce. I mean, gosh, 2 years ago, you couldn't find ammo. Like
Yeah,
we
it's pretty-
we
it's
couldn't
really
find
brutal.
ammo. And we
Yeah.
have so many distributors,
Yeah.
even local places that make it. We're not
We're
making
out,
it. So I just wanted to check in on how ammo's doing. Is ammo back?
It's better.
It's back.
So
Yeah.
again, if you're looking for some very specific ammunition, so you're looking for a particular brand, you're looking for a particular grain weight, you might have an issue.
Right.
So
It's more specialty rounds too, right?
Yeah.
So like 9 mils,
as
readily
a
available.
whole, your normal NATO rounds are pretty readily available. The prices have come down a little bit. It's not back to what it was pre-pandemic,
Sure.
nor do I think it'll ever be back to that.
Right.
But stuff is getting better. You still have some cartridges that are really, really hard to find.
Yeah.
So
Some of them are
like 410.
410.
Why the hell?
That's weird.
I know. Again, that's kind of one of those kind of common-ish ones that
Yeah.
I just can't find anywhere. You look online, you can't find it. I try to find it from distributors, can't find it. 3030 is another tough one. We just got some in.
Okay.
Not a lot, but we got some in. And then you start getting into some of your exotics or whatever, just
Sure.
different cartridges, whether that's 270, 243, some other stuff that's kind of common-ish, but again, still hard to find.
Yeah.
So 9 mils, 45s, 357, 556, 308, blah, 762 by 39, all that stuff's available.
Oh, great. Yeah. So that's good news for us because for quite some time they weren't available. And if you have something that you're looking for, definitely reach out to us and we'll keep an eye out. We do that a lot. So if we don't have something that you're looking for because it's hard to get or it's just not available, we can get your information and we kind of put you in your system. So when we receive the item, it flags us that you're interested in it.
Yep.
So that's a really good way for us to help you out with that.
Absolutely.
And if you come across some ammo that you've been having trouble finding and they have it, get it. Because sometimes people will come in and I'll be like, you should get more than one box because this was really hard to get.
Yeah, and it doesn't go
And they're
bad.
like, think I'm overselling them. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not overselling you. I'm telling you that this isn't like really hard to get.
We really
get
do
it.
try to inform, and ultimately, if you find something and it's been hard to find and it's available, buy more than what you think
Yeah.
that you need. Because, again, you can't have enough ammunition.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So.
Really important.
Yep.
All right, cool. So thank you for that. You want to do new shit with Shad? You ready?
Sure, I'm
All right.
ready.
All right, Rob, you ready? Awesome. All
All righty.
right, what do we got
So,
there? Made in Brazil.
Made in Brazil. So, somebody opened it. Who knew? We'll go ahead and get rid of that box. We don't need that anymore. So, This case reminds me so much of an FNX, right? Whether it's the 509 tactical, the 45 tactical, but beautiful, beautiful case, right?
Look at Taurus
And what-
stepping up,
No shit.
right?
And what is in it? Well, let's see. Again, nice stepping up. So
What is it?
it is a G3. So it is a Taurus G3 tactical. So we actually have a threaded barrel. We actually have suppressor height sights. Nice two-tone. It is a pretty slick looking frickin' gun. So optics ready. It comes with plates. It comes with 2 mags. It is,
How many rounds?
that's a good question.
I just
How many
saw
rounds?
it and I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
So I think
17 rounds. Wow.
Right? But so you look at this gun and go, okay, well, it's a Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Taurus is kind of one of the budget guns that we kind of talk about, but they are absolutely 100% stepping up.
Yeah.
Trigger on it is actually pretty darn good for what it is. I mean, yeah. The sights are blacked out, so both front and rear, but they are suppressor height. So if you do want to throw a suppressor onto it, very inexpensive. It's 1/2 by 28 thread pitch. And retail-wise, it's like $600, I think.
Okay. We can find it
So
on our
the
website.
same gun,
Yeah.
right, the same gun in an FN model, you're going to be at the
$1,000.
$1,000 range or higher.
Yep.
Glock pretty much really doesn't make any of these right now.
Right.
But again, you kind of look Shadow Systems, which is going to be your Gucci Glock kind of stuff. You're over $1,000. You know, you can start looking at Smith & Wesson. You're going to be $900, $800. So it's a really, really good bang for the buck gun. It looks slick as shit too. Love it. Well done, guys. Well done.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, how many mags does it come with?
2 mags.
So 2 mags, 2 17-round mags.
Yep. And what else we got in here? This is our lock. We got our lock in here. We have our plates, I think are going to be over in here. Yep, our different mounting plates for our different optics that we're going to have for it are going to be in here. In here, we're going to have our warranty and any other stuff that kind of comes with it. What all we got in here? Yeah, we got our warranty. We got save $10 off of a holster for it. Save $30 off of a laser. And what do we got? The limited lifetime warranty for Taurus. So, yeah, this is the unboxing for the Taurus G3 Tactical.
I like it.
Yes.
So one of the things I like about the Taurus G3, G2, G3 series is the way that it has the indent for your thumb here, as well as the indent for where your finger is off the trigger.
Right or
so
left.
there's an
Right?
indent.
Both sides.
Yep, there is an
Righties and
indent.
lefties.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to switch, but on both sides, it has the indent, and that's a really good reminder because I used Tauruses when we first opened the shop. I used the Taurus G2,
G2s.
G2C.
Yeah.
I don't even think they
classes.
make them anymore. Do they make G2Cs? I don't think they do.
Yeah, I think it barely.
Okay,
Barely.
so I use those to train, for training the students. Now we use Taurus TX22s, but I did use these because I liked how it had the little indent in the frame for your thumb. And so what I mean by that is I'm going to turn it, but your thumb is here and then your first finger is here when you're holding your gun, and that is a great reminder to have those indents there.
Yeah.
So I really like how they have that.
Nice.
So yeah, really good. And it's up on your screen, but it's a really good choice. It's a good option. And like Shad said, the comparison would be the FN, and the FN is like $1,000.
Yeah.
So when we were talking budget guns, you know,
Yep.
it is a really good value.
And you actually have an additional captured guide
Spring.
rod and spring, so I'm sure that's going to be for suppressor use potentially.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, again, it's a nice little package.
Yeah.
So well
And
done.
affordable. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, Taurus is definitely considered a budget type style gun, but the presentation is really good with this, and it
Yep.
comes with the case. And you got to remember, coming with 2 magazines, that helps because magazines will be $30, $40, $50, $60. So it comes with both of those. It comes with the case, which is going to be another $20, $30, $40. So when you add all that up, it really does have a
Good bang for the buck gun.
good
really.
value.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And again, like I said, the trigger on it isn't bad. You know, it really isn't.
Yeah.
As far as, for me, I think it's better than a Glock stock trigger.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
But yeah, good gun. Well
Awesome.
done, guys.
And then we did bring a Taurus with us.
Yep,
To
T3C.
show you. So the 3C. So
This is going to be your compact.
Okay, so the
C stands
difference-
for compact.
okay.
So it's going to be a little bit shorter. So as far as capacity, we're going from the 17 rounds to 12. So we got 12 rounds. This particular one is not optics ready, or what usually for their guns they call them Toros. That means that it's optic ready. But small, compact, size-wise, it's actually a little bit smaller than the Glock 19, but it's considered
yeah.
a compact, which is what they consider a Glock 19.
Yeah, it's smaller,
but
for
yeah,
sure.
good little gun.
Yep.
And
And
again,
it-
you're at the $350 range.
And this particular one has a safety.
Yep.
So I'm not sure if they come with or without.
They all come with safeties.
They all come with safeties. That's what I thought because
Yep.
I remember the ones that I used for classes had them.
They don't do lefty. They don't
Ambi,
do
okay.
ambi, but
Yep.
they all do. Yep. And I
Gotcha.
didn't even look on that one to see it, but I know it has it. I just didn't check to see if it was on ambi or not. But
And the stippling on the grip is pretty good. They changed it, but it is still pretty good. It gives
Yep.
you a good grip.
it's a little bit aggressive,
Yep.
but it's not too aggressive, and it's not throughout the entire grip as well, which is nice. So
Yep.
it's again well done. They give you your little, like you said, your little indents on
Yes.
both sides to kind of let you know where you're supposed to be, whether it's here
Yep.
or over here.
And it really helps you kind of get your hand where it belongs.
Yep.
And when I talk about stippling, for those of you that don't know, it's where they like melt the polymer to like make it grip more on
They
your
make
hand.
it rough
Yeah,
so that
so
it
it's
actually
not
holds onto your
smooth.
grip.
Yeah.
So high stressful situation, you're going to be sweating, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
So ultimately in that situation, you want to have something that's going to give a little grip so it doesn't fall out of your hand.
Correct.
God forbid something happens and maybe you're bleeding. You know, that you don't want that stuff to
Yeah.
affect your grip. So that's
Absolutely.
where you want a little bit of texture. to it.
Texture, stippling.
Yep.
And the other thing is too, just being at the range,
Yeah.
you know, because we shoot at outdoor ranges
You
and
get a little
sometimes
hot.
the indoor ranges, you know, it gets hot as hell.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're going to get sweaty and your hand's going to start slipping, especially as you're firing. So it is important to have some sort of, you know, help with your
Yeah,
grip.
having something
the
a little
stippling.
aggressive.
Yeah.
It might feel a little hard, but it actually works out well.
The other option, of course, would be putting on a sleeve, like a
Mm-hmm.
Hogue grip or something like that. And that really helps out. I don't know if you can see it because it's black, but Hogue makes a grip that you can slip right on to the firearm
Yep.
on this part. And some of them have a beaver tail. They come in different colors. So if you want
Yep.
FDE, you know, flat dark earth or OD green or pink or purple or
Whatever.
whatever you want, they come in all different colors. And we stock these in all of our shops.
Yep.
And the other thing that's good too is some people like finger grooves and some people don't.
Yep.
So let's just say you get a Gen 5 Glock, right?
Right.
They don't have the finger grooves. And some people like that.
Yep.
For me, I like finger grooves. It helps me with my grip. So these have finger
You
grips.
can get some with and without.
With
Yep,
or without.
That's right.
But if you want finger grooves and a bigger grip and a more secure grip,
Yep.
a Hogue slip-on
Yeah.
is really a good option.
And that also helps with
very
recoil.
inexpensive.
Yeah, it helps with recoil as well.
Yes.
So that rubber actually helps absorb a little bit of recoil. So not a lot, but a little bit.
No.
And hey, every little bit counts.
Every little
So,
bit helps
yeah.
because sometimes, you know, the firearm and when I train people, they get a little red here, you know. So I always suggest the Hogue grips because they really help, you know, stabilize the
Yeah,
gun. So
absolutely.
it's a good option for sure.
A lot of manufacturers have back straps that you can make them bigger and stuff like that. This is a way, again, to kind of make it a little bit bigger if you need it a little bit bigger.
Absolutely.
But do keep in mind that it does add a little bit. So if the gun is already a good fit and you add it, it might,
Change your
it's going to
grip.
change it a little bit,
Yeah.
potentially. So just be cognizant of that.
Sure.
But, you know, for a couple bucks, you know, it doesn't hurt to try something and see if it's any better or not.
Yeah. And we'll put it on for you too if you purchase it from us because they're really tight and you got to really maneuver them. Sometimes we have to
Technically,
heat
you're
them up.
supposed to boil them.
Yeah.
I
We
mean,
heat them up with the heat
instructions
gun.
are boil
Yeah.
and put them on. And,
Yep.
Yep.
And even on this guy here, so we have a Hogue grip on this guy, and this doesn't lock back.
Yep.
So I'll just do this and show clear because this one, so meaning lock back, it doesn't have a slide lock or slide stop
Yep.
to keep it locked back to show clear.
And that is a Diamondback DB9.
A DB9.
Itty bitty 9mm.
Correct. Very, very small. This was my first.
Snappy as shit.
Snappy.
Yeah.
Not very accurate. But this also has a hoe grip on it, and we had to cut out a little area for the magazine release
Yep.
because it was covering it.
Yep.
So that's why it's really good if you're going to get some sort of help with your grip on your gun, have us help you install it, or we'll do it for you.
Make
and this
little
way we can make
modifications if we need to.
Exactly. We can make the modifications that your gun needs because sometimes it'll cover that mag release and you're not going to be able to get to it.
Yep.
But yeah, the DB9 is not my favorite gun to shoot, but very, very small package.
Right. And ultimately, one of the
at 9
reasons
mil.
why I wanted to kind of bring it and kind of show it to the other two guns that we have sitting out here, they're both 380s, and it's actually either the same size, but it's a single stack 9mm.
Yeah,
So
tiny.
it's got a little heat. So if
Yeah.
you want the smallest 9mm that I know of, like semi-automatic,
Pocket
6 round,
carry.
is it 6 round? 7
6.
round. It's 6 round,
6
one in the
plus one.
pipe. Yeah. So, but like she said, it snaps a little bit.
Yeah.
She's got a little snap to her.
It is snappy for
Yeah.
sure. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you for joining us. Remember, next week, next Friday at 6, we're going to announce our new raffle
raffle
winner.
winner.
So
Yes.
the Springfield, I think it's a Victor, but I'm not sure.
It's not. It's an Edge, and I just
it's
can't
an
remember.
Edge.
It's not a Saint Edge rifle. It's one. It's a
Saint.
new. It's a Saint Edge.
Okay.
It is a rifle, but it's not your typical Saint Edge rifle.
Okay.
It's got a chassis system on it and stuff like that.
Yep.
223 wild barrel. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, check out our social media. So our
Yes.
Facebook page and Twitter and social media. What's the other one? Instagram. Because we
the
post
picture one.
we post all that stuff on our social media, so you can
Yep.
see the gun and stop into the shop and enter. I mean, for $10, win a free raffle.
Yeah, why not?
Rifle.
Rifle, whatever. We do pistols, rifles. We have another one going on right now as well.
Yep.
So
Have a good day. Thanks for joining.
see you guys. Bye.
Bye.